I'm not going for Top Dasher anymore, and here's why. For the past 6 months, I've always tried my best to go for Top Dasher, whether I had to accept every order for 24 hours straight, raise my acceptance rate from 0 to 70% in a week, or even accept 61 orders in a row, I was willing to do it. The reason being, I liked the freedom it gave me to dash whenever I wanted to, so I was willing to go to hell and back for Tony, just for that sweet freedom. Recently though, I got screwed over, and even after all the crap orders I had taken, DoorDash lowered my acceptance rate at the last minute, so I was unable to be a Top Dasher last month. This led me to have to schedule my shifts every day, which I came to find out isn't too terrible. The biggest thing I noticed though was how much more money I could make, considering I'm back with Grubhub and able to multi-app. So I wanted to take you through a quick 5-hour shift I did on the 1st of the month, which normally would be my last day accepting every order, and show you just how much I can make now that I'm not going for Top Dasher. Then at the end, I'll be going over the pros and cons of being a Top Dasher. Let's get started. So basically the first hour of my shift went like this. We started the day off with a McDonald's order, which was honestly a pretty good order. I always, for the most part, get a McDonald's order to start my shift off with because I live literally less than half a mile away from one. So I'm grateful that this order was actually pretty good, about $2 per mile. And then I get this order from Grubhub, and it was supposed to be really good. I mean, $10, 6 miles, and it paired perfectly with the next DoorDash order I got, which was to Chick-fil-A. And so I get to the Indian restaurant, and I get there 3 minutes past the pickup time, and I go in. And this is the problem with Grubhub, is the worker tells me it's gonna be about a 15-minute wait. I'm like, Grubhub, why do you send people so early to restaurants when guaranteed you have to wait 5 to 20 minutes on every Grubhub order unless you're multi-apping? So I unassigned that order, and I don't think Grubhub penalizes you if I do what I'm showing you from my screen recording, where you put the orders not ready and then how long it's going to be, and then you say you're not willing to wait that long. I don't think Grubhub penalizes you for it, because I do that quite a bit and haven't had any ramifications from it. So just a little tip right there. But after that, we did complete that Chick-fil-A order, and then we got a decent order to Pizzeria Limon. I mean, it's only about $1 per mile, but those are all freeway miles, and I loved the drop-off location, so I went ahead, accepted that one. We didn't do too good our first hour because we only made a little over $19. Would have been $30 had that Grubhub order panned out. But we're starting the next hour off with these 2 orders, one from Grubhub, one from DoorDash. They go very well together, and let's hope that Grubhub doesn't screw me over again. So let's get going. Got our next order right here, $6, 2.3 miles. Definitely a decent order for lunch. Let's go get it done. So we made up a lot of ground that second hour, and we're up to $52 in the 2 hours that I've been going today. So that's an average of $26 an hour, which is just great, especially since the Grubhub orders we've been getting now are a lot better. If that one had panned out, it would have been up to about $63. So $30 an hour, but it didn't, so it's all good. We got our next order. This one right here should be pretty quick. I think I can get it done in like 10-15 minutes tops. So after this, maybe 1 or 2 more orders, and then taking a break for the day. I ended up getting a slew of terrible orders in a row. I'm talking really bad ones, one after another. But finally, I closed out the first part of my shift with this order to Little Caesars and this one to Subway. So for that quick little lunch shift, I ended up making $66.57 in 2 hours and 45 minutes, meaning I was averaging $24.21 per hour during that time. But now onto the dinner shift, which is really where you can make a lot of money. Alright guys, dinner shift coming up, and this is really where multi-apping and not trying to be a Top Dasher comes in handy and really shows you the full amount of money you can make. So it's a little after 6:30 right now. We're just gonna go ahead, dash now, and get going. Well, we're starting the dinner shift off with this bad boy right here. It's kind of a long distance order, but I think I can get it done in about a half hour. $17.50 for 11 miles. Let's go get it done. Next order, we got more pizza orders, New York Pizza and Little Caesars, and it's $2 per mile, so you know I accepted it. Let's go get this one done as well. First hour of this shift and we are at $29. And that is without any Grubhub orders because we've just been doing all DoorDash because for some reason I forgot to turn Grubhub on. So we might have made even more had I remembered to do that. We just got our next order actually, and it's looking like another decent one. This New York Pizza Patrol really coming in clutch for me tonight. Let's go get this one done also. The last part of my shift went great, and once again New York Pizza Patrol was sending me more bangers. Along with Grubhub sending me great stuff, I was rolling with no dull times either, and some hidden tips to cap it all off. So in total for the 5-hour shift I did, I made $134.81 and drove 79 miles, which means my hourly pay was $26.96, and that is before expenses. And I'm not going to get into a whole expense finance breakdown or anything because we got to go into the pros and cons of being a top dasher. So first let's go into the pros. The first pro I have is obvious. It's you get a dash whenever you want, which definitely came in handy for me because when there's specific videos I want to make for you guys, it really makes it easy when I can just go out and dash whenever I want and I don't have to worry about scheduling my shift. So that's the biggest perk in my opinion. But over my years and months of being top dasher, I have noticed that you do sometimes get more consistent orders and sometimes better orders, but if you're multi-apping, then that just becomes null and void because it doesn't even matter, because when you're multi-apping you get more orders anyway, and so it's already more consistent and you can be more selective because you're getting that many orders with the different apps. So now on to the cons. The biggest con is that you have to take garbage orders for the last week of the month to get your acceptance rate back up, or you have to consistently take so-so orders and a couple bad orders throughout the month just to keep that acceptance rate hovering around 70%. So I always hated that because I knew the last week of the month meant I'm not making any money. And if I had been doing that this month, instead of making the basically $27 an hour I made for this shift, I probably would have made about $12 to $16 per hour. So a huge difference, and that sometimes would carry on through the entire last week of the month. So it's just not that good when you're trying to make as much money as you possibly can. The next con is that you can't multi-app very well. It's really difficult to multi-app when you accept a Grubhub order, or if you do Uber Eats, you have an Uber Eats order, and then you're getting DoorDash orders. And yes, you can pause your dash, but also it makes everything harder when you're having to pause your dash every time you get another order, and it just makes things difficult rather than just being able to see whatever orders DoorDash is sending your way. Maybe they go perfectly with another order you're accepting from a different platform, and so I just hate trying to keep Top Dasher while you're trying to multi-app. So it makes multi-apping really difficult. And then the last con is you just make less money overall. Like I just barely explained, because you're having to do that either the last week of the month or you're having to consistently take less good orders than if you were just super selective, you're just making a little bit less money overall. Now before I was willing to take that loss because it gave me the freedom, like I said at the beginning of this video, I just really enjoyed being able to not have to schedule and dash whenever I wanted. But now that I have Grubhub, now that I'm multi-apping, I found it's not too bad to schedule and I'm making more money than ever. So there you guys have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see a different side of me, make sure you check out my other channel I do with my brother. It's called Talkin More Sports. We cover all sorts of NBA topics. So if you're into that, make sure you go check it out. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.